It's a joy to be with you on this Tuesday, and today I'd like to go to the last chapter that God used the Apostle Peter to write, 2 Peter chapter 3. And here we find some amazing prophecies and teaching regarding the destruction of the world. In fact, we find here that the entire universe is going to pass away. We read in verse 10, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." And we find that also repeated in Revelation chapter 20, how the heavens and the earth will flee away as the white throne judgment takes place. And so we're living in a sin-cursed universe, and God will purify it by destroying it, and we'll have a new heaven and a new earth. Well, those are dramatic teachings, of course, but right after he finishes that, he admonishes God's people to have a holy lifestyle and godliness, understanding what's happening. And then we read in verse 14, "Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent, that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless." We as God's people, since we know the future, since we know what's going to happen, since God has given us very specific prophecy about what will happen each stage of the future, such as the end of the church age, we have the rapture of the church, and then we have the tribulation, which we will not be here. What a blessing it is. But yet, things are lining up to occur where the nations will battle one another. And of course, it'll be a time of Jacob's trouble for Israel to be brought back to the Lord. And then you have the great second coming of the Lord and the battle of Armageddon and the new kingdom set up and the millennial reign. And then finally, after Satan is destroyed, after he's let out of the bottomless pit, you have the great white throne judgment and the eternal state begins. That's a lot of knowledge. You think about that. I just gave it to you quickly. But think of what we do know. We don't need to fear the future. We don't need to fear what's going on. The God that's allowing what's going on to occur is the God who is putting all the pieces together for the events that will come in the future. So the fact, as it says, we are looking for these things. We should be diligent to be found of him in peace. Peace with God, peace with one another, and peace in our own hearts. We need to stay encouraged because we have a job to do for the Lord. And it isn't about us and protecting ourselves. Fear is the opposite of love. Perfect love casteth out fear. And so we need to be living with that confidence that God has us on this planet right now to accomplish his purpose. And therefore we should be without spot and blameless. Just fully, sincerely giving our lives to him. And so let's rejoice. We have the completed Word of God. You have everything you need to know. The world doesn't know what the future holds, but we do. So let's live with the peace of God in our hearts.